Sponsored by Mitchell Electric. Starts now.
Touchdown, go!
Here we are again. It's been a very long offseason, and this is a football season that many thought would never come. There are only 18 states in the country who are starting their high school seasons on schedule, and we at Siouxland News are proud to cover 3 of them, Iowa, Nebraska, and South Dakota, all getting things kicked off right on time. And no better way to start the season than East versus Heelan. This is that special game that announces the arrival of football in Sioux City year in and year out. East won this game last year, but Heelan, they're under the guidance of first-year head coach Chad Mosman. He's up in the box to call the plays tonight. Heelan's defense was outstanding in the first half. East down 17-7, trying to make something happen late. Luke Longval has the ball punched away by freshman Cannon Bork. After a scramble for the ball, Ian Gill comes up with a touchdown recovery. Heelan leads 24-7 at the half. In the student section for Heelan, let that talcum powder fly. But we saw an entirely new East team in the second half with Heelan driving. DeVaris Whitaker intercepts the ball at the 1-yard line, and unlike Lot's wife, he doesn't look back. 99-yard pick six for Mr. Whitaker, and this is the kind of play that Coach Brian Webb needed to jumpstart this team. On the ensuing kickoff return for Bishop Heelan, it is another key turnover. Ben Jackson for East strips the ball loose. Carter Siebersma pulls it in for the recovery. Sioux City East is back in business. The QB, Luke Longval, he transferred to East this year from Heelan, and now he's hurting his former team. Dump off pass to Kyler Peterson, one of 3 touchdown receptions on the night for Peterson, part of a 21-0 run for East. But this game has gone into not 1, not 2, but 3 overtimes. Right now, East is up 48-41, but Heelan has a chance to respond. You'll have to check Twitter for the updates on this one. We'll try to keep you updated as the game goes along. Well, here's a matchup we haven't seen since 2017. Sioux City West and Sergeant Bluff Luton. SBL ranked number 1 in Class 3A, one of 3 Siouxland teams ranked atop the polls to begin the season. West under the direction of first-year head coach Brandon Holmes. It's the SBL ground game that gets the season started. Senior running back Caden Helt came on strong late last year, and he gives the Warriors a quick 7-0 lead. And it doesn't take long for Helt to find pay dirt again. Midway through the first quarter, from 3 yards out, get used to hearing this kid's name called. Coach Justin Smith has big things planned for Caden Helt this year. And speaking of Coach Smith, his son, sophomore Tyler Smith, is stepping in at quarterback, filling in for Daniel Wright, who's off playing in Wisconsin now. Wright was about a foot taller than Smith, but he doesn't need to see above the line of scrimmage for a play like this. Swing pass outside to Jacob Imming. The junior powerhouse takes care of the rest. 44 yards to the house. Gives the Matumbo finger wag as he crosses the goal line. 21-0 Warriors. First career touchdown pass for Smith, and he gets number 2 later in the first quarter. Scrambles and finds senior Vince Lally for the score. Warriors put up 28 points in the first quarter. SBL runs all over West on opening night. 49-0 shutout for the Warriors. And an interstate matchup that we haven't seen in who knows how long, at least 20 years. Sioux City North crossing the border to face South Sioux. We pick up action in the first quarter. South Sioux, they're up right now 7-3. Connor Slaughter to Brandon Popoka, but he is denied. The Stars' Dante Hanson is right there for the interception. Now into the second quarter. North at the Cardinal goal line, a missed snap on the punt attempt by Jack Lloyd, and the Cardinals take advantage of the miss. Peyton Martinez recovers for the touchdown, along with a whole host of his teammates. The Cardinals come out on top with a TD. Now they lead 12-3. North, though, doesn't take them long for them to battle back. Second and goal. Quick handoff to Brady Wawrzynek. The Stars take the lead 16-12 with just over 2 left in the half, but the Cardinals would go on to add 2 more touchdowns. They led 26-20 at the half, and Sioux City North, they get the big interstate win on the road, 55-48 over South Sioux. Let's go around the area and see if we can get some final scores for some of the other ranked teams. West Sioux with a huge opening season win, 14-7 over Spirit Lake. BHRV, after an uncharacteristically tough season last year, they win 20-10 over their inter-town foes, 20-10 over Western Christian. Rimson St. Mary's, number 4 in 8-man ball, 56-20 over River Valley, while Newell Fonda wins big over Harris Lake Park, 54-7. Wayne, number 2 in Class C1 in Nebraska, 14-10. They narrowly escape Logan View, Scribner, Snyder, and Pierce. Looking big with the offense again, 55-38 over St. Paul to open the year. Norfolk Catholic, they win it 21-14 over Boone Central Newman Grove, a team that they've faced several times in the state championship game. And in South Dakota, Madison barely edges out Dakota Valley here in McCook Lake, and Bridgewater Emory Ethan denies Elk Point Jefferson 34-6. We'll have plenty more when we return. Those two remaining #1 teams to cover tonight. They're both in action within about 25 minutes of each other. Andrew will have highlights from their opening night when we return.
Relax, okay? I should have probably called over. That's my fault. Okay, we probably had 9 on the field then, didn't we? All right, we got away with one.
But we set the tone. This group right here is what tonight's going to be about. Sure. This group right here. Let's go!
And just as an update on that East game, it turns out that Sioux City East did end up actually beating Bishop Heelan 48-41 in triple overtime. Historic game there for the Crusaders and Black Raiders. Well, anyway, two defending state champions are opening their seasons on the road tonight, and both are playing within a short drive of each other. Andrew Rogers has highlights from OABCIG and West Lyon, who both will look to repeat as state champs in 2020.
Thank you, Owen. The West Lyon Wildcats are the reigning 1A champions, but have since moved up to 2A. Moving down to 1A in the process are the reigning 2A champions, the OABCIG Falcons, and that's where we begin. Falcons come into this season on a 13-game winning streak that goes back to last season. Leading the charge in Week 1 against Ridgeview is none other than their star, Cooper DeJean. Just 3 minutes into the game, Falcons are pressing. DeJean rolls right and stretches his way in for 6 while being wrapped up. OABCIG up 7-0. Here's an inside look at some of the new mandates put into action as well. After a Ridgeview fumble, the Falcons are right back in the red zone. This time, DeJean slowly rolls right. I move just in the nick of time as the Iowa commit skates by for 6 more. Not even 205-pound Cooper DeJean can take me down. Well, actually, that's not a challenge I want to partake in. OABCIG goes up 14. The Raptors struggled to get the ball moving offensively, and the Falcons just keep on coming. Another score this time, a little passing catch to Griffin Dearson. And OABCIG runs away with it. The Falcons take down Ridgeview 49-0. Over in Storm Lake, West Lyon looks to carry over their state championship momentum into the new season as they meet the Tornadoes, already with a 33-point lead at the end of the first half. But don't count out Storm Lake just yet as they bully their way back. One play is all the Tornadoes need after an INT. Jesus Soto gets the short give and adds a touchdown to the team total. But Storm Lake still trails by 21. After the Wildcats get a score back, their defense steps up in a big way. The old fumble Ruski. This ball must be covered in butter as it's still loose. That is until big number 77, Trevor Van Wy, makes a little magic happen. Get pumped up, big man, and West Lyon is back in the red zone. 2 plays later, it's the tailback Tanner Severson. He bobs and weaves his way in for another score. Multiple touchdowns in the third quarter alone for the senior, and West Lyon coasts to the finish. The Wildcats grab the first game of 2020, 53-12 over the Tornadoes. That'll do it from me in Storm Lake. Owen, let's send it back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Andrew. Well, we've got a decades-old rivalry to open the season in Class A. Coming off a state semifinal appearance, Woodbury Central taking on their Highway 20 rivals from Lawton Bronson. Eagles had the ball. Connor Smith to Hayden Dahlhauser. Catches it and makes a run for the end zone, but taken down by Kane Schmidt. 8 yards to go. Chayton Rowe, he gets the ball and goes around the side. 2 Wildcats trying to stop him, but Rowe is already in. 6-0, the Eagles lead this game, and Dahlhauser and the Eagles are trying for the 2-point conversion. They've managed to get the score across the goal line here, and the Eagles take a 8-0 lead in the first quarter. And then later in the first half, Smith, he's going to make a pass to Dahlhauser, catches it while sliding across the turf for a first down. But the Eagles and Wildcats, no other scores in the first half. It was 8-0 at the break. Woodbury Central, though, comes back to score 21 points in the second half for a 21-8 win over Lawton Bronson. More game night in just a few moments. A pair of Siouxland teams on their home turf in South Dakota, including a Dakota Valley team that's ranked in the top 5 to start the year. Keep it right here. One of our favorite parts of having game night back in our lives, it's Play of the Week time, and this comes from our game last night between Wakefield and Guardian Angels Central Catholic. Trojans on defense. Blake Brown reaches his big paw up there to knock the pass down. His teammate Logan Bokemper is there to complete the interception. If this was the NFL, it may not have counted because he didn't quite complete the catch and maintain possession to the ground. The regular Des Bryant over in Wakefield. Nevertheless, the Trojans got the win on opening night, and Brown and Bokemper team up for our very first Play of the Week. Well, as we end this first week of the show, we head to Hinton for a matchup of War Eagle Conference teams. Hinton and Akron Westfield will never disappoint on the gridiron. Blackhawks have enjoyed 8 straight winning seasons in football. Akron, meanwhile, hoping to rebound from a 1-win season that they had in 2019. Hinton They're going to be the first one on the board in this game and on their home turf. 10-yard touchdown pass from Derek Anderson to Bo DeRocher. Anderson, he's starting to get some college attention, and this connection of Anderson to DeRocher may be powerful this season. Here's another huge play, a 50-yard pitch and catch from the senior to the sophomore. What a big play for Hinton. And then less than 2 minutes left in the first half. It's going to be DeRocher again. Gosh, what can't this kid do? A 50-yard touchdown run for the 10th grader. Hinton's offense looks like they're just taking it to the Westerners, but right before halftime in this game, Akron Westfield strikes back with a touchdown run from Lane Kinney, and that helps Akron pull through on this opening night game. 34-19, Akron Westfield. One of the most epic road trips possible for any team in the state of South Dakota. Belle Fourche travels nearly 6.5 hours across the state to take on Vermilion, but they work themselves into a deep hole, and with only 3 minutes left in the second quarter, they go for the long ball that gets tracked down by Connor Saunders. Saunders all the way back to the promised land to put Vermilion ahead at 28-0, and the Tanagers just keep piling it on in the second half. Sanders is on the receiving end of a touchdown catch from the quarterback, who shall remain nameless because his name isn't on the Max Preps roster. Coaches, here's a friendly reminder. Get those names online. We want to say names when we have them. Vermilion with a big win in the Dome tonight, 35-0. They beat Belle Fourche. Let's take a look at a few more scores as we finish out the show. Sioux Center gets the 13-0 shutout win over Lamar's, while Unity Christian beats up on Lamar's Galen 48-14. Elsewhere in the area, there's your Akron Westfield score again, 34-19. They beat Hinton, while Westwood, 42-0 at home. They win over Maple Valley, Anthony Charter Oak Ute. Oakland Craig, powerful win, 50-0. They beat Ponca, while Laurel Concord Coleridge scores a comeback win against Wisner Pilger, 22-14. That's going to be all for game night on opening night. Make sure you join us next week for another fabulous episode. See you then.